Welcome to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and friends. I am Laura Simmons. I have with me Margaret Green.
Hi Laura, how you doing?
And hopefully Ursula will make it into the show today, guys. She's trying her best to make it here. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Um, man, that is just I'm gonna start out with this Texas. Oh my gosh, what is really happening in our world today? I mean, prayers go up to those families that just lost their loved ones, their children, babies. The school teacher, my prayers go to the families, all of those families that just lost their loved ones. And my prayers go out to those families in was it New York,
Yeah.
where that other shooting was at. My prayers go out to those families as well. And when is this stuff gonna stop, y'all? When is it gonna stop? So recently, I don't know. I remember. I don't know if I told you. Saturday there was a shooting in the Walmart out here in Olympia Fields this weekend. They said that the security guard didn't get shot. She actually had fell out because she hit her, I guess during the tussle between her and the shoplifter. She hit her head some kind of way, and they thought that she had got shot, but she didn't get shot. And thank God for that. She was injured though. She had they released her though. She was able to walk up out of the hospital. That was a good thing. But it's just so much happening in the world today, guys, and we have to stay prayerful. We have to pray for everybody because it's just too much going on. Just it's all happening so fast, and it's like you don't when you take one
Like a
breather.
runaway train.
Yeah, you breathe today. You just as you breathe in to clear your mind of what just happened, then something else is happening. It's happening too fast. Everything that's just happening too fast and too much. We just have to
hmm
stay prayerful, and we we have to watch our surroundings as well, people,
hmm
because we don't know who's come. And just thinking as I'm going into the store on Saturday, I'm looking around. It had me so paranoid because of the fact that this had just happened in a store in
hmm
my neighborhood.
hmm
And then to turn around, then hearing some other stuff happening, and more and more and more stuff happening, like the young lady that the guy she had been talking to this guy over the internet, and she was 17 years old from Chicago. The guy drove her to Tennessee, to a hotel in Tennessee. Just lucky the clerk, the desk clerk, was thinking on her toes, and she did a wellness check on the young lady first, and then after they did the wellness check, they went and they called the police, and come to find out, this man had was doing human trafficking. He was just waiting for the pickup of her, this young lady.
Wow, she didn't even know it.
She didn't even know it. She done met this guy. Now she knew it after she realized what was going on. She knew
Right.
what was she knew it then, but he took her from Chicago, drove her to Tennessee, and the plan was somebody else was picking her up. Somebody else was getting ready to pick her up, probably. You know, so they're not telling you the hotel. They're not telling you
Mm-mm.
anything about the name or none of that stuff right now. But this guy is in jail now, and they said there's no bond because of human trafficking was involved. So because of that, he had he they didn't set a bond for him.
And
You
he
know,
should get one.
heck, you know he
They're
should.
trying to sell people kids.
Yeah, so
And
they
that's why
got
these
the
young
young
people need to
lady
be
is back here.
careful.
She back here in Chicago. They brought her. They transported her back here to Chicago, so she's home safely. They said now, but they're still trying to find out who else was involved in it. So today, guys, we have to keep our children in prayer, because it's like they're attacking our children. The children,
hmm
they're attacking them. And
These kids got to stop being so doggone hard headed, though. They
yeah,
don't like to listen to nothing when nobody tell them. They tell you, "Oh, that was old school. That was back in the day. That don't, we ain't dealing with that now. It's a whole different situation." No, you dealing with a whole different devil, and he's using every crafty thing he can use to
Yep.
get you to do stuff that you don't even see coming, and before it's too late. And it's
Yep.
just it's so sad.
Yep.
That they fall for every little thing. So naive. I'm like, I know I was naive when I was a teenager, but I wasn't that doggone naive. I had a lot more common sense than some of these young ones that's using now. They just fall for everything. And it's
Yep.
like you got to use some common sense.
Yep.
Don't be so quick to follow because somebody tell you they think you cute and they want to meet you somewhere. If you don't know that joker, don't be going to meet him.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
don't tell your parents where you going.
Yeah. Hey, Danielle.
Hey, Danielle.
Yeah. Hey, everybody that's out there that's watching. Hi. How you guys doing? Thank you for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and friends. But yeah, it's so sad with all that's going on in the world, and our children still, not taking it as serious as they need
No,
to be.
they
And I
it's a
understand
nonchalant attitude.
we can't bottle them up, we can't lock them up, we can't do any of that, but we can pray them up. We can keep them prayed up. That's what we can do. So if you don't know how to do nothing else, you learn how to pray. Pray
Mm-hmm.
for your children. When you walk out that door in the morning, pray for yourself and your children. Cover
Mm-hmm.
your family. Ask God to cover
And
your
when you go
family.
to bed at night, you better
Better
lift up
be
a prayer
exactly. It's so funny because
because there was a
Saturday I
young
had
man
my
here.
grandbabies. I had my grandbabies with me Saturday. So Saturday, my grandbaby said, "So why we gotta pray?" I said, "Because you want to ask God for covering for everybody that you love." And my oldest granddaughter said, "Yeah, I do. I want prayer for mommy and daddy, you grandma and papa and my baby brother and my baby sister and all my aunties and uncles and my other grandmother." She was saying that. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
so, I'm like, yeah, we got to
Yeah,
stay
because when you
prayed
plant
up.
the seed, God get the increase. And that's what the thing about it is. Too many people are getting away from teaching their kid about the Lord and teaching their kid about prayer. It changes things. It teaches them
Hmm.
the value of, yeah, I need to talk to somebody higher than myself, my creator.
Yeah.
Because they don't forget it. When you plant that seed when they little, they don't forget it. Especially when you teach them that Our Father prayer and all, you don't forget. 'Cause I remember from when my mom first taught me. I
Yeah.
remember it
Yeah. You
word
have
for word, so you don't
to.
forget it.
Yeah.
So
And
you
when we
teach
used
them
to leave
young.
in the morning time, when the kids would go getting ready for school and stuff, ever since they was like pre-Ks and pre-K school and stuff like that, daycare and stuff. I used to always, every time we get in the car, before we pull off, we say a prayer. Before they get out the car, I'm saying a prayer. And I know my kids
Mm-hmm.
used to be like, "Hey, why does she gotta pray so much?" Well, I pray because I don't know what the minds of other people may be thinking when you
That's why
walk
you
into
says for
that
seen and
school.
unseen dangers, man. Shh.
Exactly. So I have to pray for you and I have to pray for myself because at the time I was dealing with the public. So you don't know what nut may come in there and decide
Yeah,
that they want to, come in there and take takes lives or whatever the case may. You just never know. So you have to stay prayed up at all times, you know. Today would actually be a nice day to have a conversation with Dr. Inky. Would be a good day to have him come on the show to talk with us about what's going on in the world and stuff to like that today. It
mm-hmm.
would be a great day to have him on the show. And if I had been thinking, I would have invited him on the show. And I'm sure it's probably too late for him to come in onto the show right now. But yeah, it would be a great thing if we had him on here today. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's right. Train them up and
I
beautiful.
tell you, it is so much is going
Yeah,
on
you're
in this
absolutely right,
country.
Danielle.
There's
Hmm.
so much, and then a lot of folks, like you hear some people saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna do my children. I'm not gonna raise my kids the way my mama raised me." You better, especially if she raised you right, because
Hmm.
because she knew something you don't know.
Yep. Yep.
I
And
used to
that.
wonder when my mom would say, Don't you stay away from that person, or you stay away from that girl or that guy or whatever. I don't like that person. You wonder, well, why you don't like him? He ain't do nothing to you. What? Come to find out later on, you not, now you know why she didn't like him, or now
Yep.
you know why she didn't like her. She saw what you didn't see. And
Yep.
that's the thing. A lot of kids don't want to listen to nothing their parents tell them until it's too late. I'm like,
Hmm.
at least listen. They've been here. They know. They've been doing. They've been where you are.
Yep. Yep, it's so funny because I be thinking about some of the people that um some of our older siblings dated, and some, and I remember my, dad didn't like them or whatever the case may be, and I just wonder to myself, okay, so uh, why daddy so hard on them? But then as life goes on, then
Mm-hmm.
now you see why, because you
Why?
get,
Exactly.
you
You be
hear
like,
the
have
stories
they
of what
seen
they've
stuff?
done and what's happening in their
Yeah.
life right now, and it's like, wow. So he was protecting her from
Yeah.
whatever,
From
from this
exactly.
person, because he knew. But
Mm-hmm.
mama used to always have a habit of, she'll tell us stuff ahead of time before it even happened. She would be like, well, hard head make a soul behind me. And I just didn't
Mm-hmm.
understand at the time. I used to always think, well, mama always said that.
The
She
first thing kids
always,
like to say, "Oh, you just tripping. You tripping."
but she was telling us the truth about
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff. Some of the friends we chose, some of the people we decided to date, and man, yeah, yeah.
It's like, and you wonder why. Oh, why she can't stand him? I don't know why she don't like him. It's the reason why she don't like him.
And
Cause
it's a
she see
lot.
that you don't see.
Yeah, it's a lot of sick folk out here, and we just don't know it.
No.
We just, we try to overlook what we know, we see and stuff. We try to overlook it, but it's happening around us, and it's happening a lot, an awful lot. So we really, really, really have to start paying attention. One of the things is we have to start paying attention. Another thing I wanted to touch on too that really irritated my little soul a little, a lot rather, was, you see the, you probably didn't, but there was this Caucasian man in this gas station, and a African American young lady was in the gas station, and the Caucasian man was saying some racial slurs as he was coming in the store behind her. And so when they got in line, he got in line behind her. So she asked him, could he give her some space? Because we
Yeah.
culture people. It's still spreading. It's not getting any better. It's still spreading. So she asked him to give her a little space. This dude started hitting her. He punched her in the face. He grabbed this chick and started punching her. Guess who was in the background? A brother. And guess what he did? Nothing. Just looked on.
Wow. And they wonder
Look.
why I always say y'all need to stop it. Y'all need to cover us. We had and
Well,
that
you remember what Malcolm X said? Malcolm X said the one person that's not protected is
the
the
black woman.
black woman.
Yeah, because the black most of the time we don't they do not cover us,
Mm-mm.
unfortunately.
And I was showing it to my husband because I had got furious seeing it, and he was like, you got to calm down," because he said, "I see you getting mad." He saying, "You got to calm down." He said, "But if that had been me in that store, oh yeah, I would probably be in jail today," because he said, I would have helped that woman." He said, "I would have helped her," because he said there ain't no way that man should have been able to stand there and beat that woman the way he beat her. He beat the crap out of her in that store. She had bruises all on the side of her face and everything afterwards.
I would have
It
found
was
me a way to
so
grab
sad.
something and knock the nothing out of him.
Yep. But it's so sad because we getting attacked by every direction. Every direction around the
Yeah,
world.
that's what
It's
it
like,
and it's because the reason why they people are getting so angry with the black woman is because there's so many things that they are doing and still doing and have done that has benefited the African American race and from so many levels, on so many levels.
She said the
And
black
I
woman
said,
is
so we,
the most disrespected and
disrespected and unprotected. We
unprotected
are,
in
we
America.
are.
You're absolutely right. Hey, Nicole, how you doing?
And
Thank
so
you.
when we stand up for ourselves and for the rights of what we
Hmm.
stand for, then everybody say, "Oh, we are angry black woman." No, I'm not angry. I just
Hmm.
want the same respect you give every other race.
Hmm.
Don't come at me any old kind of way and think I'm supposed to just bow down and accept it. No way. No, you're not. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is sad though. It's sad that we see this stuff happening all around the world and stuff, and everywhere you look is something happening. It's just
Now, it was
and it's
something I saw
happening.
one of the judge shows the other night, and the girl, it was this guy, black guy,
Hmm.
he took this girl and her boyfriend to court because they broke his cell phone.
Hmm.
Well, they broke his cell phone because he was filming and he was trying to get this guy, because the guy had grabbed the black girl. She was black. He was, I think, Hispanic, half Hispanic or Hispanic. He looked like he was Hispanic. He grabbed the girl, and so this guy felt that he shouldn't. He told her, he said, "I'm filming you, and I don't think you should be doing that, handling her like that." So the guy got mad and he took and he broke his phone, the guy's
Hmm.
phone. So the guy, he lost his case. But the thing that the black girl said to him was, "You need to mind your own business." Now you
Oh,
sit there and
really?
tell, yeah, she told him, he needed to mind. I said, now see, y'all want people to jump in when somebody hurting you, but then when they don't jump in, you say you got a problem with it because you should have said something. You should have did something. Then when the minute somebody trying to help you, then you want to tell them to mind their own business. Which one do you want? Do you want somebody to help you, or do you want to sit there and be beat up and then nobody step in and you wonder nobody wouldn't help me? Well, what do they do? What are they supposed to do? I
Hmm.
mean, she sat there in the court and told him he need to mind his own business. And she turned to him, told me, "You need to mind your own business." I'm like, now, the first time that boy would have beat you down in the street, then you would have thought that other fellow was wrong for not doing nothing. Now, the first when he was filming it, trying and told him, he got up in the guy's face and he told him, "This is wrong. This is wrong." And the guy got mad because he was telling him, because he was talking about he was in his personal space. No, you wrong. He's letting you know you wrong, so you would stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad though. It is.
And
But
that's true what Nicole says.
back back during the times of slavery, all that we had was us.
That's
We
right.
lost track of that. Yep, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right, Nicole. That is so true.
And
We
and
did.
and then what happened was when they got us, when they put them on the ship, they separated them. They
Hmm.
separated the family. They separated the men from the women, the mothers from their children. And
Hmm.
then so when they went into slavery, they separated them again. So they was breaking down the family union that was already established in Africa.
Yep.
They was a family in Africa, but when they took them from Africa, they broke up that union. They broke up that stuff, and so this like, what do you expect? And so now, instead of us going back to what we remember, what we know from our ancestors, they not. They don't.
Hmm.
They just, well, I don't want to look. I don't want to think about what happened back in those days. I want to look about it now. No, you have to look back on what happened so you can understand
Happened
not to
and
repeat the same
yeah.
thing.
Well, it
It's like
repeats itself
you
anyway. It does.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, people.
So
There's a
you better
time in
prepare
this life
yourself
you
for
gotta
it.
understand you have
Yeah.
value too,
Yeah, you better prepare
and
yourself
we
for
have
it
value
because
too. And
yeah, you better prepare yourself for it because guess what? It's going to repeat itself. The cycle repeats,
yeah,
you know. So
it's
you
like
better
you
prepare.
can't sit there and let somebody disrespect you and then think that it's okay. No, it ain't okay.
You know.
Just like one video I saw on Facebook, was YouTube video. This guy disrespected this guy's wife. I think that was
Mhm.
his wife, and that boy cold cocked that brother, that fella. I said, I would have did it too. You ain't gonna disrespect my woman, my woman standing in front of me.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
like
but
that's
it's
the
a
thing
lot
that
of them that
you know. And the thing about it is, black women are usually ride or die. We usually will be there. We will stand for not only our children, but we'll stand up for our man. But we don't always get the same thing reciprocated back to us, unfortunately.
no, we don't. We don't. And that's so sad. That's a true statement. Yes, we do. We are ride or dies usually for our partners and our children and our family and stuff. When the others
Hmm.
are not that way for us.
Like you're like, come
Yep.
on. It's like you gotta start doing the thing, right, the thing. Or a friend of mine told me one time she was talking to this person. Her and this other lady was talking. The other lady was Caucasian, and then the guy was black.
Hmm.
She said he decided that he didn't want her to be a part of the conversation, so he got in front of her and faced the Caucasian young lady and talking to her. And so the
Oh
other
wow.
Caucasian
It
young
was her
lady,
mate?
yeah, no, he wasn't. They wasn't dating. It was just it was a conversation among neighbors. And so
Oh
so
wow.
he acted as if she wasn't even valuable in the conversation. He just jumped. He just turned his back to her. So the Caucasian young lady grabbed her hand and moved her back around in front. So she couldn't just ignore her and just talk to her. She knew it was
Hmm.
rude. She knew that was wrong for what he did. I said, no, I said, but that's how, I said,
Wow.
that's, it's like, okay. And the thing about it was he was just as black as she was. So it's like, how you going to sit there and disrespect her and make it seem like her value is none? It's like, no, come on, man. Like I said,
Yeah, but you got a
we
lot
bring
of
a
people
lot
that
more
a
to the
lot of
table
guys that do that.
than what is
Then better.
being shown. We
Yeah.
always bringing something to the table, but we always overlooked in the
Yeah.
first, like they
Overlooked
said,
in the
and always want to say
jobs, overlooked in
you're a
everything.
mad black woman. You just a mad. I ain't mad about nothing. I just want what's right.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah,
want what's
that's
right. Just
true.
want what's fair. Treat me right, then we ain't got a problem. When you treat me
Yeah.
wrong, we got a problem.
Well, you know the today's question is today is Let's Talk About It Tuesday, y'all. So y'all know we like to talk about some of everything, a little bit of everything and this and that. So today's question that I posed today is, do you think children should contribute to the home when they become adults? If they're working a
Yes.
job, if they're working a job, and do you think that they should contribute?
Yeah.
So that's the question of today. So
I
any of you guys want to
I
put any
think they
comments?
should, and I
Mm-hmm.
think so because it does is teaches them responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they think that they can live this life and not have to pay their way, they're gonna be sadly mistaken when they get out on their own.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them who don't. It's like when I was growing up, my mom took the time to teach me how to pay bills,
Mm-hmm.
save money. She would say, save money for a rainy day. You spend some, you save some. She take and then you as and you would get. I used to have to get $50 every time I got paid.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, back then it was 3.35 an hour, so you ain't getting a whole
Yeah, a
lot of
whole
money.
lot of money. No, exactly. I remember the summer job when I had my summer job. I had got that was my very first job, and I never forget that whole little thing when I first started working before I got the job. I remember, my mama had made me get on the bus. I was scared as crap because I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going, or nothing. I think I was like probably I think it was my sophomore year of high school. I was getting ready to go into my sophomore year of high school. So you were able to get a summer job after when you get into your sophomore
Because that's when
year of high school.
that's when I got my first job, my
So
sophomore
I
year.
remember going, she told me what bus to catch. And she said, and ask questions with the driver. She said, make sure you ask the bus driver questions and this and that. And I was scared as crap. I never
Hmm.
forget that. I was scared. I was like, man, why is she doing this to me? I was so nervous and stuff. So I get to the place, I get to the job, and um, it was, it was, I get there, and so the lady asking me all these questions and stuff. So I wasn't prepared, first of all, but the lady was so nice to me. She helped me through all everything I had to do and stuff, because she could see I was sweating and I was scared as crap.
Mm-hmm.
And so she helped me with everything. First of all, I caught the wrong bus and I end up going the wrong way. And so the bus driver let me off the bus. Good thing that the bus driver was somebody that knew everybody in the neighborhood.
Mm.
And so he was the one whose bus I got on, and he told me which bus to get on. He waited there until I got across the street and the bus came. He said, "That's the bus you catch." He told me what bus to catch and everything. So I caught that bus because I was going to 87th and with a Soft Sheen. That was my first job, Soft Sheen Hair Products. I was working there.
Mm.
And I got there and I was so nervous and stuff. So I'm talking to the lady and I'm this and that. She asked me all kinds of questions and stuff. It was so crazy. Then she was the one who told me how important it is to remember your social security number.
Mm-hmm.
Never in my life, my mom didn't even tell me that, but she probably did not know. And there's some things that she probably didn't know, but it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But that lady explained to me how important it was to know your social security number.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept making me repeat it, and I didn't understand why. And
Yeah.
she said,
Because
because that is your number, that's gonna be your number for the rest of your
it's
life.
your life. That's it.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So I ended up getting a job and stuff, and I was catching a bus in every morning to the job and stuff. It made me feel like I was grown. Then I started feeling like independent. I could feel the independence then. So when I first got my very first check, I was excited to give money to my mom because I come from a family, we didn't have much to begin with. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that we was poor. Honestly,
No.
growing up, we didn't know
So
we was
then.
poor, you
Mm-mm.
know, but growing up, we were actually poor. We didn't have much. I would get my older sister's shoes and pants and guess what? I always been taller than my older sisters, all of my older sisters. I've been always been taller than them, but skinnier than them. So it was funny because the pants was too big, but they was too short. And do you know to this day, my look when I as I got older and stuff, and I started having kids, my kids is the ones who got me out of wearing flooding pants because I was still wearing flooding pants as I got older.
You thought you had started your own trend.
And my kids said, one day my kids he bust me out there. It was like, Mom, do you ever get pants that fit you? But for so long, I had, like I said, I was used to this. I was used to
Mm-hmm.
wearing the hand me downs from my older siblings and stuff because they pass them down. She would pass them down to me. Then, and then you learn now as you get older and stuff, you're like, wow, our feet size was different, totally different and everything. That's why I had to have foot surgery as I got older because it caused my feet to curb up, which caused me to have a bunion. And I ended up having foot surgery when my son was born. He was like, I think about 2 months old when I had my foot surgery. And it was so crazy. And I'm walking around with this heavy little guy in this chair and stuff with hopping around, just limping around, trying to
Yeah.
get around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the kids
Yeah.
contribute. When I
That's
got
it,
my first
Danielle.
job, I had to pay the house phone bill and buy my mom my own tokens for
Tokens for
school.
school.
Yep,
That's
you
it.
absolutely right. Yep, I
Mm-hmm.
had to
That's what I'm
pay.
talking
I
about.
had to pay the light bill when I got my very first job. I had to pay the light bill. That was my bill. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I said, I don't think it's anything wrong with that. I don't think it's
No,
anything
it
wrong
teaches
with
them
it's teaching them
responsibility.
responsibility because you know what? In the real world that we live in, tell your landlord that you ain't got their rent money. See what
And see
happened
how
to your
fast you
rent.
be on that street.
Yeah, that's why. Why do you think there are so many people? Some people are homeless because by choice, because they just want to give
They
up the
just
life
checked out.
that right, and it's so easy to do it. Honestly, it's so easy to do it because you start looking at things and you start looking at life a little differently, and you ready to check out from the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's easy to do it, but if you don't pay nobody no rent or no and you don't pay no utility bills or nothing like that, guess what's gonna happen? You're
You're gonna be
not
out
gonna
in
have
the
a
street
place to stay. You're
because
not gonna
people.
have lights and
Mhm.
gas because they're not gonna let you're not gonna be able to tell them Well, I'll pay next week sometime. You know, you're not
Mhm.
going to be able to tell them that,
Nope.
you know.
Because people are, it's like this. That's why I always say, when I have said it, and when I say things about real estate, it's easier for you to um try to be able to keep your home if you buying a home than it is to keep your apartment if you rent, because your landlord don't have to sit up there and keep on giving putting up with you paying late. He can just file for you to be put out. Whereas your mortgage company, they're going to try to work with you to keep you from being put out. But a
Mhm.
lot of times people start getting it twisted. Or I don't have to pay because they won't fix this or they won't fix that. No, you still have to pay your rent.
Yep.
You just have to keep you just need to document, and then
Yeah.
and then if you don't like the fact that they didn't fix nothing, move.
And a lot
Give
of
them your
times the
30-day
landlords,
notice and move.
yeah, but a lot of times some of the landlords will do a deduction off of your rent when you fix things. Because I
Some of
remember
them
when I was
will.
living in my apartment, I remember that's what the landlord did. If I fixed something, he just
Deducted.
deducted off my
Right.
rent. So
Right.
yeah,
But you got some people who are habitual for trying to run rent
rent
games on
games on people.
landlords.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So
They
so
run
what
those kind of
happened
games
is,
on
sooner
anybody
or
and every.
later it catches up to them. And then they sit up there wondering why nobody was like, well, why? Well, but see, that was no, you didn't ran that game so long and so much that people didn't caught on to it, and now
Yeah,
they ain't giving you no chance.
yeah. And the sad part about it is some of them they get so bogus with it. They they start running that game on people at their jobs and stuff. They try to
Yeah,
run those games on them as well. With the yeah, I'm having a rough time in life. And, like you the only person that's having a rough time in life. Guess what? We all having a rough time in life. And
hmm,
but we all dealing with it. We still gotta pay our bills. Those
that's
bills
right.
is
It's
not
like,
going
if that
anywhere.
electric company and you don't pay that electric bill, guess what? Lights out, and it ain't
Yeah,
because you
he
turned
got
them off
you
either.
sitting there watching your favorite
You sit
TV
up
show,
there,
and all of a
all of a
sudden,
sudden, blink.
this, what happened? Oh, and maybe maybe the witchmacaller went out downstairs. No, nigga, that ain't
Like that
me.
movie. What's the name of
Still
that
be
movie that Spike Lee did? Oh gosh, where the little girl was the only girl and her mama had died. Later on, she was a little girl. It was a
was it
Spike Lee movie.
Inkwell?
No, this one was a dog. I can remember because Afri Woodard was played her mom, and it was they showed it was like a back in the '70s type show, and it was a Spike Lee
Well, I
movie,
know
and she had
Inkwell was like that.
she was the only girl, and she had, I think, 3 or 4 brothers,
Hmm.
and her father, the mama would give him the money, and then the thing about it is they had an apartment complex. They had like a 2 flat or something like that, and he wasn't paying the bills. The people were paying their rent, and he wasn't paying the bills.
Paying the
So he
bill.
let the lights went off, and so they up there and trying to keep the house lit with candles. And his wife wondered, well, what happened to the money that I get? I thought I sent the money. No, you didn't, Joker. You didn't
No,
pay
he was
that bill.
probably taking the money gambling it because I remember somebody told me that that's what happened. They mom lost their house because of that. It was a customer told me that she said that the mom lost. It was a he. He said they mom lost their house because she was gambling. She was taking the money that they would give to her, or everybody would pay rent to her, and she was actually taking the money to the boat and gambling it off. And so then one day they happened to wonder why they what's going on. So they found out that they were being evicted and they didn't understand why. And they
Mm-hmm.
were like, well, the house should be paid off by now because we've been giving all this money up and stuff. Well, the house wasn't paid off because
She wasn't
mama
paying the
took the
bill.
money and she was going to the boat. While they was at work, she would go to the boat. And so when she would go to the boat, she'll lose her shirt. Some days she'll get a good, she'll win good. And then there's some days she just lose everything. And so she went, and this particular time, she took the money because she thought that she could make it back,
Yeah,
make more.
that's the
And
mental thought that
she
they keep
went
believing.
to the boat, And this time she took their mortgage and she kept doing it. And she thought that she would win this money back, and she kept losing it. So the reason why I mention that is because a lot of times what happens is the kids think that it's okay for them to buy shoes and stuff like that for themselves, buy them whatever they want and stuff because they're at home with the parents. They think it's all right. But guess what happens in the real world? You're not gonna be able to buy no $700 shoes or no
Mm-mm.
$200 shoes and stuff
Nope.
like that unless you have a very 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 good job,
And
you
you
know,
manage your money
and
right.
you invested it right. And that's where well, now they're saying that rent to rent out to buy properties now is so expensive now to buy
Period.
properties and stuff. So it's like you there it's a lot. You got to learn something. You got to figure out another way to invest now. Really, it's because they're saying that they're not making money like off the rental properties like they used to. You
Well,
know.
it all depends because it all depends on at what price point you purchase that property at, and
Hmm.
at what price point you rent it out at. Because in some areas you still can make a decent profit off of it, off of renting properties out. Um, it's just that some people are still stuck in the $300 and $500 range of rent and not
Hmm.
realizing you're at the $900 and $1,200 and $1,500 and $2,000 ranges right now, and that's everywhere. It ain't just in the north no more. It's in the south too. The rents are going up. In the south, the rents are catching up big time. Because I
Hmm.
remember when I first moved here, it rent was like $275 a month. You
Wow.
know, it's like now you think you're gonna try to even find a one bedroom, well, a closet for $275 a month. You ain't getting it. Mm-mm.
Wow, that's messed up.
Yeah. Now the rents here, their apartment complexes are building these apartment complexes, and a lot of them don't even accept Section 8.
Wow. But you know what? And it's so funny because this lady was on one of the radio stations. She was on what is that, Ricky Smiley show. She was on the Smiley show, and they was asking a question about um properties and things like that. And what do you think that is the real problem of here in Chicago? And so one lady got on there and she said it was because they knocked down the projects in Chicago. They knocked down the projects and they placed put all these people on Section 8 and put them into all the communities, different communities and stuff. And she said that she think that because they did that, they spreaded it out the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
It caused confusion in other areas where there were no problems. Because as
Mm-hmm.
long as you had them in one little spot,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't
You
have
can
this problem.
control
It's what
them.
she was saying, right? And so the funny thing about that whole thing was, I remember we had this lady that came and she was checking. She was looking. They was looking to rent our one of our properties, and so what happened was the lady, the 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 Section 8 lady came with her, with the lady, somebody from the office, not
Mm-hmm.
just anybody. One of the Section 8 ladies that work in the office of Section 8 came with the lady. So the lady had came from one of those project buildings. So if you had a seen it, it would have made you so angry because the way the lady was talking about her, like she had no brain. You know, she was
Mm-hmm.
like, she said, yeah, they not used to this kind of lifestyle. And this lady looking all around like this, like, yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna tear this place up. If I get this place, I'm gonna tear it up. That's how she was
Mm-hmm.
looking. And the lady was like, yeah, see, they not used to this kind of lifestyle and this and that. And so we like looking at each other. We like, okay, if she not used to this lifestyle, why would you come here and bring her here then?
Mm-hmm.
So you think we want somebody that's gonna tear up our property like that?
Yeah, she coming in and talking, I'm gonna tear it
Yeah,
up.
she looking around like this. You should have seen her, like she was looking around, just looking around.
You
Yeah,
ain't gonna tell my stuff.
like she's saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me and my kids get in here, and we gonna tear this mug up. I was like, oh, the property already been rented.
Mm-hmm.
I I said the property been already rented. Just like that. She looked at me like the Section 8 lady said, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, uh-huh. We just haven't took it off the market yet, but it's already been rented out."
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, I'm like, "Oh no, you ain't bring your buddy in, tear
Tearing
my
up my
stuff."
stuff. Mm-hmm.
And I done worked hard too. We get down into this. When we was doing this stuff, when we was doing that stuff, we would go and actually work our whole weekends, and the day and after work was all about fixing these places up.
Yep.
And it was a lot. That
Tell
was
me
a
about
lot
it.
of work. You going in there, you painting, getting your fingers going numb on you and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
you putting
Especially when
up
you had to clean them.
boards and stuff, and you gotta clean and sweeping and mopping and waxing floors and cleaning carpets and stuff like. Oh, that's a job within a job. So
Mm-hmm.
and then to see somebody that's a potential person talking about moving in, and they about to tell you, you could look at them and see that their intentions is, I'm coming in there, tear that stuff up.
It was a situation where this man, he had restored this house. He had did a real good job on this house, hardwood floors and everything. When he finished with that, with somebody he had let rent it through that program, he said he would never ever do it again. He said
Yeah.
because that they tore up his house, put holes in the walls and
Mhm.
everything. So I don't have anything against Section 8, but some people do not take care of your property. Some
Mm-mm.
people would tear it up and then think, then sit there and talk about, well, they paid you. No, they only paid me my rent. That's all they paying. They ain't paying me. They ain't
Mm.
paying for your damage you did, and your deposit ain't covering the damage you did. So, you know, and that's the misconception that some people are always quick to say, well, they covering it. I remember when Section 8 first started out, they were making repairs, they were doing repairs
Yeah,
for
they
people,
were.
when they damage your property. But then
Hmm.
they quick stop in a hurry, and that's why
Yeah.
so many landlords got off the program. They stopped renting it through Section 8
Yeah.
because they weren't getting
Because
their
of that.
money back
Yeah.
to
But
fix it up.
yeah. But
So,
back to our
yeah,
children and these little chillins, and they you know contributing to the households and stuff, as being adults and stuff like that. It's just so funny that the generation today is a lot different, is way different from our generations, because they was
some
talking
think
about
they're
it on one
entitled.
of them shows, and they was just talking about this recently on one of the radio shows, and they was saying that the generation today, most of them are not staying at home. um, when they get to 18, 19 years old, they're moving out their parents' homes and stuff. But I know a lady that works with runaways. I know a lady that works with runaways, and she was saying that is the reason why there's so many homeless teenagers out there now in the streets, because of that. Because they just didn't want to listen, they didn't want to abide by the rules of the parents, and they felt that it was something else out there for them, and so a lot of them end up on those streets, and that was the reason why. you know so it's just,
Sad, so sad.
yeah.
That's why first thing I like to tell young people is don't rush to grow up. Don't
Yeah.
rush to grow up, because I'm telling you, like this has been a mantra that I've been saying for years. You got 19 years to be a teenager and to be a child, but you got
Hmm.
the rest of your life to be an adult. And I'll tell you what, 19 years is a whole lot shorter than the rest of your life as an adult. So
Yeah.
you better take the time and and tiptoe through your childhood so you can take and absorb and enjoy every little bit of that childhood that you have, because once you turn 20 and 21 and you start being responsible for bills, it's a
Hmm.
whole different situation when you got to pay a bill and you can't go and go get um that dress or that pair of shoes or something that you have had your eyes on for a minute. You got to wait until you make sure you done covered your utilities and you done covered your rent. Then you
Hmm.
can, and your car note, if you got a car note, before you can go talk about paying doing anything else with it. So that's why I said when these characters be talking about, oh, I don't think I should have to pay. No, you should. You need to pay something because
Mhm.
that's only going to teach you is responsibility. It's going to teach you how to save your money. It's going to teach you how to manage your money because if you paying a bill, you know, okay, this is what I have to pay out of my check for this bill, and this is
Mhm.
what I have left. So I'm gonna take a certain amount, put it up in the bank for the save for that rainy day, and this is gonna be my play money. So whatever I want to use it for, I can use it to play with. But when it's all gone, it's all gone. I can't go back to that emergency fund I put up.
Exactly. The envelope thing.
Yeah.
That's the envelope thing that because I do the envelope thing. So I put money in there for the gas, money in for food, money in for groceries. The food part is my entertainment money. That's
Mm-hmm.
basically entertainment money. Then you got groceries and bills, my regular
Mm-hmm.
bills and stuff like that in that envelope. So every time you get some money, you put this money in, you divide this money up in there, you're tied in and all that stuff. So once the money is gone out of those envelopes, you don't have nothing else until you it's time to
Till you
reload
get some more
again.
money.
Right. But
So if you
once
don't
it's
manage
gone,
it
it's
right,
gone.
you're in
Right.
trouble.
Exactly. And yeah, yeah, it's not easy either. Sometimes I'll be saying to myself, man, if I had my life to do all over
Man,
again, I would do
you and
some
me
things
both.
totally different. I
You
would
and
have
me both.
waited. I would have waited longer before I moved out. I would have waited to so that I would have done a lot more investment when I was younger. I would have done
Yeah, I
a
definitely
lot
would
of
have did
things
that.
differently. Yep.
You know,
Yep. If
but
I know what
I'm
I knew, if I knew then what I know now, oh yeah, yeah, I'll be a different
well,
person
they're
by
making it becoming a. I don't know if they already passed it or not, but they making it. They trying to make it a law part of companies requiring them to automatically draft money from your account from your check to put into a retirement account for a 401k or something to automatically set that up because they're trying to find ways to help people save for their retirement so they
now.
won't be totally dependent on social security.
That's cool and everything, but after that Enron stuff happened, I'm not really, too comfortable with that. I'd rather save my own daggone money. I don't want somebody else to save my money because of that. You remember all those people thought that they was planning on retirement and
Mhm.
all that other stuff, and then when that stuff happened, and they find out they didn't have anything. Now it was people committing suicide because of that. They was
Yep.
jumping off bridges and stuff because of they done took their money and
And
ran
now
out.
they don't have
They
nothing
ain't got
left.
nothing. They're like, okay, I'm gonna be retiring in another year or two, and this and that, and then this happens, and now they have nothing. So I rather save my own money and invest it in what I want to invest it in and figure it out from there because yeah, I'm not too comfortable with people somebody else um got
Well, I'm okay with it as long as you putting it back into, as long as you matching it, and then when I leave there,
yeah
I can take it out.
but what I'm saying is that's cool and everything, but now I'm watching my stuff closely because of the fact that I'm not comfortable with you because of what I've seen, how
Hmm.
what I've seen you guys do. People do, and sometimes what happens is they'll invest your money into something and now it doesn't go the way they expected it to go. So because it didn't go the way they expected it to go, now they done lost your money, you
Yeah.
know. So
Well,
you
you
have
can, but that can go both ways though.
yeah.
You can invest it yourself and let somebody else. That you can get your own financial advisor, and they can take your money and run with it. So it all
Mhm.
depends on how It all depends on who you getting to do it, and the history of the company.
Yeah.
Because
Make sure yeah.
some because you got folk out here who prey on folk and tell them, "Oh, I'm a good advisor." Come to find out,
Mhm.
them jokers and spend all your money, and
Oh
you sit up
yeah,
there
you
talking
watch
about,
that show
"I
that
thought."
come on at nighttime. I forgot the name of it. It's a show that comes on at late at night, and they show you all the different things that where that happens. Where they even got some of the celebrities. They were able to get some of the celebrities money
Yep. Because
because they invested in these
it
things,
was
and it
one
was
that
a
was on
scam.
that was on that was on I think it was on TV1. It was on one of them shows where this lady, she had she had duped Dennis Rodman. She had duped a bunch of them, and she went to jail for it too. She had did all this and all, because they thought that she was did
So
meant
legit.
well, because
Hmm.
she was a promoter for the sports industry.
Hmm.
So her son didn't even know what she was doing. He thought that they was gonna build this empire, and then, but she was on she was up there spent living this lavish lifestyle, not real. And her son didn't realize that she was spending the money on these celebrities. So
They
she's
have
sitting up
boats
there
and cars. And,
instead of investing their money and making that and flipping their money, she was spending it. She
hmm
spent their money and the thing about it is he was like, "Oh, this is really nice. This is really nice." Not realizing that was your. He said it too. Dennis Rodman said it. He said I was like, "Yeah, this is nice."
Allegedly.
Not real. Well, it was on the show the other day, and
Oh, okay.
they had interviewed. He was talking about it. And he said I'm looking around and I'm saying, he said, man, and I ain't know that was my money. I was like,
Yeah.
that's messed
I
up.
mean, it's not funny because people will hurt you over their money. First of all,
Yeah,
so they'll hurt you over their money. I mean, there are people that like to go around and just do craziness
scam
like
you.
that, and they think it's okay, but people will hurt you over stuff like that.
Yeah, like this.
It's just
Like,
like that. What's the guy, the swindler, the Tindler swindler or whatever his
yeah,
name was,
like this. Like, I
telling them
watched
the
this.
ladies that crazy stuff that, yeah, I got people after me and I need you to buy me a plane ticket with your credit
Mm-hmm.
card because if I use my credit card, they'll be
They're
able
gonna
to
try
track
to
me and
trace
all
me.
this other stuff. And
It's like they're gonna have to just find you, bro.
mm-hmm, they gonna either find you or you gonna come up stinking anyway because you messing you 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 mess with my freaking money. That's what's gonna happen to you.
It's like no
Shoot.
mess with my cheddar.
Mhm. You old fish-eyed fool, you.
It's like no, but it is. It's that's the thing for young people. If they understood that it's not to harm them, it's to teach them. Is why some parents say you need to pay this or you need to pay that. And sometimes when you tell them that, they learn the hard way. When you telling them when you paying it and you say turn off that light, they ignore you. But
Hmm.
when they have to pay that bill, it's a whole different
Whole
story.
different story. Oh
Then
yeah,
all
my
of a sudden they
son told me
turn every
that.
light off in the house.
My son told me that. Let me tell you, that was funny because we used to get into it all the time about the lights. So I gave him, when he got his first job, I gave him the light bill to pay. So when he got out on his own, so it's different when you paying the bill at home because if you forget to pay the bill, mama or daddy gonna pick that bill
Mhm.
up. They gonna pay it anyway because that's their home.
That's
But
right.
when he got out there on his own, he realized that, dang, now I see what Mama B was tripping the way she was tripping about the light bill all the time. Because he used to always say to me, "Ma, you be tripping about this light all the time. It ain't nothing but a little light." Oh, yeah, okay. Wait till you
Hmm.
have to pay that bill. And when he had to pay the bill, then he started realizing what I was telling him. And so when he moved into his own place, he told me, he said, yeah, I was going through the house cutting out all the lights. We don't need this light on. Why that light on?
That's it. Same thing with
I said,
water. The
oh,
water bill.
really? I said,
When,
but when you were staying at home with me and you thought it was okay to cut on
mhm.
every light in the house, and you had your little stereo system and stuff, you play it all night long and you want to listen to it. Oh, I'm gonna go to sleep with it on and lights on, the TV on. You ain't watching the TV,
Mhm.
you ain't reading a book or nothing, but you got the lights on. And
The
he
TV watching you.
yeah, and he said when I got on my own, and I started getting that light bill in the mail and stuff. And he said I started realizing, dang, so I got to pay this bill, huh? He
Mm-hmm.
said, he
Well, the
said,
light man
"Well,
cometh.
why we got that light on in there?" That's what he said. He started to
Mm-hmm.
do it. He started going through the house, cutting lights off and stuff. I
And
said,
mom used to
uh-huh.
say, Mama used to say, turn Edison out of my pocket.
Yep. Yeah, she sure did.
And
But
he was like,
yeah.
oh, what do you mean? Now I know. Turn
Yep.
Dominion Energy out of my pocket.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta have it on, turn it off.
Yeah, and it's so
Mm-mm.
funny because he said that he was like, he said, "Yeah, you used to." He said, "I remember when you used to say that to us and stuff." And he said,
And
"I
that
never
water bill,
understood." Oh, the
when you
water!
standing
Oh
there
my
holding
God!
up, got that shower
You got the
running, and you
shower,
got
you
this
doing
water
this
running, and
dance.
all of a sudden that water bill coming.
Oh, this water feels good. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like,
What is
yeah,
she
when they start
tripping
paying
for?
that bill,
Yeah,
they
when you
think
start
twice
seeing
about it.
that bill,
That's
yeah,
the only time you're gonna teach them is when they
yeah,
start
that's the
paying
only way
for
they're gonna learn. You have to. You have
it.
to because that's the only way they're gonna learn. That's the only way they're gonna learn. You either teach them yourself or they're gonna learn the hard way. And when they learn the hard way, it ain't gonna be nothing
And
nice.
let me tell you something. Kids learn the hard way, when, especially when they go off to college.
Oh
Because
yeah.
see, you got that responsible roommate that is
Yeah.
is 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 a stickler and making sure that everybody pay their way. And the
Mm-hmm.
minute you don't pay your way, they ready. We finna find us a new roommate because you got to go because you ain't paying your portion. And then you
Mm-hmm.
like, well, but see, you ain't gonna spot a sister, you ain't gonna spot a brother. No, you I work just
Yeah.
like you do. And why? And you wasted your money on your little girlfriend. That's your business. But no, either you pay it or you go because I ain't paying
Yeah.
it.
And they already eating the noodles. That's why that Roman noodles became so
Yeah.
popular and stuff. Because in college, yeah, I remember that. That is so
Mm-hmm.
funny. I remember we used to be like it was me, Alex, and Lisa and Derek. We used to all be together at lunchtime. We all sitting up there counting our change together, see how much we got, so we can figure out what we gonna eat.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some funny days, though, boy. We used to put our
And
little
that's
change
just it.
together. But yeah, so that
You
it's a
start
lesson.
realizing and you start appreciating mom and daddy more when you get older. And
Hmm.
that's why it's like that's why kids don't understand. They don't appreciate until they get older, until they start experiencing life for themselves. And then
Yeah.
when they understand, oh wow, it's not um I understand what they meant when they say you got to pay your bills,
Hmm.
because you can't like what dad used to say, he said he don't eat paper and money.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that.
And he used to say, I ain't got no tree out in the backyard that I can just shake a tree and get some money. Like, now you know what he meant.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. But
man,
yeah,
mm-mm.
it's so funny though. It makes you really think about life itself. And sometimes I ain't even gonna tell you no story. Sometimes I'll be saying to myself, "Dang, I wish I could turn back the clock sometime."
Mm-hmm. I tell you what,
Man,
if
if
I
I
can
could
go
take
back home and I ain't got to pay no
no
bill, and
bills,
they gonna
yeah,
pay that $50 and that's it.
yeah.
I,
Could
it's,
you imagine what your life would be like had you had to stay home until you was like maybe at least 25, 30 years old
mm-hmm.
and saved your money for all those years? You'd probably be close to a billionaire, if not a
Yeah.
millionaire already.
And that's what
You
some
know?
young people have done. Some of them did that.
Yeah,
That's why you got some people who actually retired at 40 because they
yeah.
started when they was
Probably
a
when it's a
kid.
kid.
They was like in
Saving,
high school
investing.
and
Uh-huh.
start saving their money when they got that first job.
Yeah, investing and stuff. They
Mm-hmm.
was learning about the stocks because I remember somebody told me that they learned about stocks when they was younger, and they said that somebody had told them about the penny stocks. So they started out with the penny stocks, and they said that the penny stocks started growing, and then they started noticing this all this money that they were getting and stuff. So I didn't at first. I didn't even believe that there was a such thing as a penny stock till one day I found some penny stocks um on Robinhood, and that's how I
Mm-hmm.
found out about that there is a such thing as penny stocks, and that's how that person became so wealthy. Today, they living very well.
Mm-hmm.
They're living very well because that's what they did. They took and invested their money at a young age. They were able to retire. By the time they turned 45, they were retiring from their job, and they just living life. They're chilling,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and man, But
especially
guys,
and then especially if you take the money and put it in an account.
yeah, yeah,
Because you don't want to
exactly.
leave it in there, and then it start going back down. You'd be like, "Oh darn, I should have
Mm.
grabbed it out when I had the
No, they
chance."
were so smart. They was investing in some of everything. They had took the money. Not only was they investing in stock, they was investing in some other stuff too. They had
Hmm.
learned some other things and stuff. And so when they learned those things, they were taking their money and they were investing in those other things and stuff. And when they turned 45 years old, they had told me that when they turned 45 years old, they was retiring. I didn't think it was possible. I said, you can't retire no 45 years old, but they were able to do it, and they retired at the age of 45 years old. Then I had another friend that I think he was like 50 when he retired. He was exactly or getting ready to turn 50 or something like that, but he retired at 50, and he said that he had told me he was going to do it. He was like, I'm going to retire when I turn 50 years old, and he did it. He did it because he had already mapped it out. You know,
Hmm.
I met a couple of people when I was working in retail. I met a couple of people that were younger and they were retiring. They were all retiring. So yeah, it's possible. Anything is
Hmm.
possible. But guys, okay, so it's time for us to get ready to go. But thank you guys for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and friends. We really enjoyed you guys tuning in today, and we hope that you got something from the messages that we were given today. And um, we pray everybody stay safe.
Yes, Lord.
And we hope to see you guys on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central
Yeah.
Standard Time. Our
Keep them
guest
covered
is
under the blood of Jesus.
Mike Hands, and so yeah, make sure you guys tune in Thursday. Very interesting conversation that this young man will be having with us on Thursday. So I will see you guys on Thursday. Later, guys. Love you guys.